Hey everybody, welcome to an all-new update. We're going to take a walk through the announcements from Not Scary Farms and Nightmares Revealed event that happened last night. Super excited for this year's Not Scary Farm. I got all of the information and press release and photos and everything today, so I wanted to kind of break it down a little bit. Before I get into it, though, I just want to say a special shout out to Knott's Berry Farm for having us out last night for their event. This was actually the first time in 4 years since the 100th celebration media night that we had actually been invited to an event at Knott's Berry Farm. So if you know, we used to always be included with these events and then some changes, but we were so thrilled and so honored to be included last night, even if it's just the one-time thing. It just it's a nice to be there for see all of our hard work kind of pay off. And those of you that we saw last night, we saw so many of you, and you were all so happy and thrilled that we were part of the event last night. So thank you for that. I really appreciated it, and I really appreciate the all the love that we had last night. So appreciate it. And all the love at the event. Obviously, Not Scary Farm is a big family, and it's great to be back at Not Scary Farm in just about a little less than a month now. So before I get into the breakdown of Not Scary Farm 2025, go ahead and click like and subscribe and all that fun stuff down at the bottom. As always, it's greatly appreciated. All right, so last night on August 19th, we got a look at the what's coming for Not Scary Farm 2025, which is the 52nd season of Not Scary Farm. There's 2 new houses that were unveiled and a couple of other surprises. So we're going to get right into it. I'm not going to beat around the bush and go through the returning stuff. We will do that, but you all want to talk about you all want to talk about what's new. So we're just going to start there. So there are 2 new mazes coming in 2025. First one is from designer John Aspirin, which is called Mary, the Haunting of Worthhome. After the tragic death of her family, Mary was violently murdered and buried alive by jealous townfolk who were envious of her perfect family and home. Through immense pain and grief of her loss, Mary returns from the grave, searching aimlessly for her family as she and her legion of nightmarish creatures will do anything to exact revenge on anyone that steps inside her once beautiful home. That's a mouthful. But this is basically Bloody Mary. If you weren't, if it were the even the media badge last night. Yeah, let me show you. So even the media badge last night, it was very obvious what it was, just from the mirror thing there. Everyone had pretty much speculated correctly that it was Bloody Mary. So super excited for this one. This is going to be in the backstage, basically where either Trick or Treat or where Bloodlines was last year. I'm not sure which is going where. If I had to predict, I'm guessing this is probably going where Bloodlines was, and not where Trick or Treat was. But that's just guess at this point. No concrete evidence on that one. The second maze is called The Zoo. This is a Daniel Miller creation. So Mesmer, uh, Waxworks. So you all are familiar with Daniel's work. Something has taken over the abandoned zoo. What was once a lively showcase of exotic animals has been transformed into a terrifying laboratory of animal/human experiments. Hybrid creatures have turned on their creators, and the compound is crawling with mutant soldiers thirsty for revenge. Rumors are swirling that the mutated monsters are planning something that will change everything. Ooh, scary. So again, another one that I'm really looking forward to. This team has kind of been tried at a couple of different events over the years. If you remember back in, I think, 2013 when Vault 666 debuted at Magic Mountains Fright Fest, it was kind of this kind of thing, Dr. Moreau, animal experiments, and then that maze has kind of evolved over the years, and it's no longer that. So this is kind of a similar kind of thing, which is fine. I have no problems there with things being reused for multiple events. There was a lot of talk about different parks using stealing things from Knott's. I'm not on board with that. So But I'm looking forward to this one too. So again, this will be in the back a little bit where either Trick or Treat or Blood went. So like I said, if I had to predict, I'm going to say this is where Trick or Treat. I'm not Trick or Treat. Well, actually, Trick or Treat was there, but where Waxworks was, that's kind of maybe Daniel Miller's home. Kind of thing. So, but we'll see. So the interesting thing that they're doing here is after 11 o'clock, they're doing this lights out, so you can go through with just a flashlight after 11 o'clock. So you're going to get two completely different experiences. One, with all the show lighting and everything as you go through, and then the lights off experience from 11 to closing. So honestly, I think that's kind of a really cool thing. We'll see how that works out. Obviously, there's going to be people waiting for 11 o'clock to go through with the flashlights and everything. But yeah, that is definitely going to be an interesting take on it. Kind of two mazes in one. So I'm definitely looking forward to both Mary and the zoo. And like I said, we'll be there on opening night, of course. All right, so let's just real quick go down the returning mazes. Two mazes that died. Two mazes that debuted last year: Eight Fingers 9, The Boogeyman, which is from Gus Kruger, become immersed in a living fairy tale of an 18th century colonial township that's under siege by an inhuman monster who has a sick penchant for eating fingers. Absolutely loved this maze last year. Was definitely my favorite of the two mazes that debuted last year. Super fun maze. Really great storytelling, really great effects, great talent. So definitely looking forward to the return of Eight Fingers 9 or the Boogeyman. The other returning maze is Widows, which I loved as well from last year. The night of the arachnid is upon us. Enter a web-covered nursing home where demonic eight-legged black widows emerge from their silken tunnels to possess the withered bodies of the elderly residents. So also coming back are two mazes that are, I think, now in their third season, if I'm not mistaken. Room 13, which is just basically tied into the Goring 20s scare zone. Violent murder at the Blind Tiger interrupts the Prohibition era revelry on Memory Lane. A cinema slasher. I think this is definitely a fan favorite. This replaced Dark Ride, which was another fan favorite, so it really was going to take something amazing to replace it, and Cinema Slasher definitely delivers. Venturing through the mystical Midnight Theater, guests travel through the silver screen into a trilogy of slasher movies. Definitely looking forward to that. And then also that debuted on the 50th, The Chilling Chambers, which I absolutely love. As a longtime fan of Not Scary Farm, Chilling Chambers is right up my alley. I love revisiting all of the former mazes. Hopefully, there's maybe a few more things added this year to celebrate some former Scary Farms mazes. Chilling Chambers, venture into a hellish trip down memory lane in the Chilling Chambers, guided by the menacing Crimson Lord. Last returning maze is Origins, the Curse of Calico. Pierce the veil of time and discover the secret of the evil fog that hangs over Not Scary Farm in Origins, the Curse of Calico. I'll be honest, I was actually shocked that this wasn't Origins last year. I figured that Grimoire had at least 1 year left, and then they would be replacing Origins this year. So it's kind of an interesting decision there to not replace Origins, which probably means next year, if I was a betting person, I would bet that next year is definitely the final year for Origins. It's been there. I think this will be now the sixth season at least. So that would mean 7 seasons for Origins. So I would not. I would be shocked if it comes back after next year. And then we'll go into two mazes that are in their final year. The Grimoire, turn the page and enter the world of an ancient relic whose dark stories exist purely to turn your greatest nightmares into reality. So we did have a video of this from Midsummer Scream. I'll link to it here. Basically, John Aspirin talking about the Grimoire, the creation. I love stuff like that. So I really liked hearing all about it. I'll be honest, it actually helped me to understand the Grimoire a little bit more. So hopefully this year it'll look a little bit different or feel a little bit different. I will say the first year they did this, they had like a video pre-show in the queue. In the standby side, and I've never seen it since. I think it was opening night of the first year, or maybe the second night. We didn't have Express the second night. I want to say it was probably the opening weekend of the opening year, and I've never seen it since. And it really helped to kind of explain the Grimoire. So this one didn't stay too long. I think just because it was the story never really caught on, but the visuals within this maze were always amazing. So super excited to see what John's got coming up this year with Mary. Also entering its final year is Mesmer's Sideshow of the Mind. Within the canvas tent lies the secret of the most potent force in the universe, the human mind. So again, Daniel Miller creation, Mesmer final year. So I'm going to say I really hope, and we're going to have another video next week kind of talking about haunts in general, and kind of a trend that we're starting to see with gore, gore, gore. It's like become a gore fest. I really would love to see a return of like a clown maze in this area that kind of fits in with Carnival. I think it's something that is just kind of fits in that area. So I would love to see something of that vein kind of come back to this maze that's by Accelerator, behind Accelerator in Carn of Hell. So I would love to see that come back next year. Some kind of just fun house type thing. Even if it's a 3D thing, it's fine. I don't care. I'd love to see some fun stuff coming back. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the returning scare zones. No, not really any surprises here. They announced Ghost Town, and I was like, no way, Ghost Town's coming back. Obviously, Ghost Town will be there. Goring 20s, which is fantastic. Carnival, which is one of our favorites. Forsaken Lake, and Gauntlet. So no really surprises there. We've also got The Hanging coming back. It is going to be again in the Wagon Camp Theater. We've got The Conjurers in Birdcage Theater. Timber Mountain Log Ride, Halloween Hootenanny, the art show, and then Le Magnifique Carnaval du Grotesque on the Calico Mind Stage. So that means that there is no show in the Charles Schultz Theater. I'm kind of disappointing, to be honest, because it is kind of a crowd eater. And, it would be nice to see a show that, bring back Ed Alonso. He always put on a great show. But we'll see if maybe something comes back next year. And then they did also announce that the Boulay brothers will be doing some signings in the haunt shop. A few nights they didn't have the dates. It looks like there was like a technical difficulty, so we don't have the dates for that yet. And then in addition to that, we've got some merchandising. There's a new lounge fly that is clear, that is Scary Farm approved, that you can actually take into Scary Farm. It is still $99. I'll be honest, I kind of anticipated that it would be kind of less because it's just kind of the plastic. But it is their new lanterns. One of the lantern effects, you can now change the colors on the K on the Sky Tower, which is great. And then lots of new shirts. Now I will say, there has been some talk online. I am not an expert in this. I can either confirm or deny. But there has been some talk online that some of these shirts may have been using AI for some of their artwork. And if that's the case, I have to say I'm honestly a little bit disappointed. Just because there's so many great artists that work at Knott's. There's these fantastic artists that they use for the art show. Hire some of these people to do the art. So if they've really kind of have gone to and using AI for some of these shirt designs, it's a little bit disappointing. But some of the designs were really fantastic. I mean, I will say, I'm not, I can't look, for me, I can't just look at something and think, oh, that's AI. I'm not that good. I'll rely on some others to kind of look for the clues like that. Hopefully they'll come out and say, nope, this is the person who designed it. It's not, you know, and that'll kind of be put to bed. There's also some new food that was announced. Lots of sweets, funnel cakes. We've got some pizzas. We've got cupcakes, and they had frog legs last night, and they had a alligator sausage thing. Just lots of different things going on. So that's all we that's become kind of part of the whole thing now with all these events is the food. So we'll definitely be checking out some of that. And then again, we've got Scary Farm Pass is still available, 159. Season pass holders can get it for 155. Single seal night tickets can be as low as $64. Obviously, you have your Fright and Fast Lane, and I've said this before, and I'll say it every year. I really do wish they would just have a Fright Lane pass that doesn't include the rides. For a lower cost. When I go to Scary Farm, I'm there for the mazes. I'm not there for the rides for the most part. So at some point, I would love if they would just have a Fright Lane that doesn't include the rides. But maybe one of these years. You've also got the buffet, which we love. We actually already have reservations to do the buffet on Halloween night, so we will definitely be there. Scary Farm packages at the hotel. And then we've got the date. So Scary Farm does debut on the 18th of September, which is a Thursday. They are open Thursday, Friday, Saturday of opening weekend. They are not open on the first Sunday. This is something that they've done in the years past. And then basically from then on, it's Thursday through Sunday every weekend. And then I believe that there are some Wednesdays in there as well. 22nd. Yeah. So it does look like some Wednesdays in there starting. It looks like maybe on October. Let's see. October 22nd. Yep. So October 22nd starts. So basically the final week, final 2 weekends, they start on, yep. So the 22nd and 29th of October, they will be open on Wednesdays. And then the event concludes on Saturday, November 1st. Lastly, they do have a chaperone policy in effect. So check the Knott's website for all the information on the chaperone policy, and then the bag policy as well. So bags smaller than 12 by 6. This is pretty much the same as they've had a few years, past few years, so they can be clear. You can get the Loungefly. There's also ones that you can buy on Amazon for like $20 that fit the policy, which is what my wife did. And then you can't have clutches or wristlets larger than 5 by 8 by 2. And then they will search your bags, of course. All right, that's going to wrap it up for our Not Scary Farm update. Hope you enjoyed just to kind of walk through of what's coming this year. We'll have a full update from the Nightmares Revealed event on our website in the next couple days as well. Thanks for watching, everybody, and take care.